This YouTube channel is all about the Motley Muse art. I create art and I teach you how to create your own. Please subscribe. I am definitely the person to ask about this. I have been doing this since 2003. I have done it in all methods. So let me tell you what worked for me and what didn't work, so that way you can save time. So first off, I make art because I want to make art. I don't make art to make money. However, I do understand I have to buy my art supplies, I need to pay my mortgage and my bills, so it all kind of comes together. So I paint what I want to see and what I want to hang in my house. Also, I do what I see in other people's houses. So like, for example, where I live, it's very country. So the country theme is really in right now. So I kind of lean towards that. A little bit of beach, and at the end of the day, flowers. Everybody loves flowers. So, one of the ways is you can open up a store and have your own gallery, which is what I have right now. You could go to vendor fairs. You can have a website and sell on your website. You can sell word of mouth. The biggest and most important thing, no matter what you do, is to grow up your following on social media as much as possible. The more you do that, the easier it is and the cheaper it is to advertise because people know you're there. Also, constantly get better at your art. Keep working at it, make it better and better and better. The better it gets, the easier it is to sell. If it's not that good, it ain't gonna sell for hardly anything, if at all. Also, I keep my prices extremely reasonable because I live in a tiny little town. Like literally, I go to the grocery store and I know people. It's that small. So because of that, the cost of living is really cheap, so it's not like I can say, hey, I need $1,000 for this painting. It just doesn't work. Like if I was in Key West or Manhattan or LA, those prices would work. So that's a big thing. Because of that, I started doing miniatures. They free up my time, they go a lot faster, and then I don't ask as much money for them. Plus, if you do this in gigantic painting, nobody's gonna wanna buy it to put on the wall because unless they have a wall that would make sense for that painting, it's not really gonna happen for the average person just buying it for their house, which is statistically what you're gonna get more of. Now, if you don't have a business or a website and all that kind of stuff, I recommend going to craft fairs. Now, I kind of found the loophole. If you go to a flea market versus a craft fair, you're typically the only one doing fine art. So because of that, you stand out in the crowd. The problem with flea markets is it's a flea market and they want to give you like $3, which is, you know, I bought the canvas, so like I'm losing money on this gig. So it's the fine line. If you go to a craft fair, usually what happens is that you have to pay a lot for your booth, so you have to kind of put that into your prices. So it's a give and a take. When I do craft fairs, I make sure that if somebody passes by my table, I have communication with them. So I smile, I say hi, I wave them over, get them to come to my table, I stop them, and I'm constantly talking to people when I'm at a fair, all the time. Like literally, I have to pry myself away from my table to go to the bathroom and eat something because I am so moving around and energetic and full of life. I wear a Bob Ross t-shirt because it's, you know, it's like in theme. I make my table look really nice because, you know, I'm not gonna put my paintings down on like a table that has bird poop or whatever on it, you know, so I clean it up, I make it nice, I clean up my area. I try to get a space where people are going and coming, so that way they're entering and seeing my table and seeing my table as they leave. So they go pass by my table twice. Those are my preferred locations. Now as far as selling online, I also, just in the nature of the business, I've learned a lot about computers and just working with them more so than I did in college. College did teach me a lot. However, computers are constantly evolving, so I constantly keep educating myself, reading blogs and whatnot. So I've tried all the different codes, and right now my favorite code to use is Liquid. Now they're not paying me to advertise their gimmick or anything, but I find that it's the most user-friendly. So Liquid is owned by Shopify. I find that they're the easiest to use. Now they didn't pay me to tell you, this is my personal opinion. Let's see. Now, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it, okay? If you're gonna have a website, don't waste your money unless you're gonna really do it and actually make your website look good. And then, yeah, that's totally cool, and that I can ship to people. It's just, I advertise parties because I do a lot of art parties. I have noticed that when it comes to finances, teaching people to do art versus selling art tends to sell a little bit better and make more money. I do a little bit of both. Mostly I like teaching because I'm creating at the same time, so it's two birds with one stone. Plus, I enjoy being social, which is very important if you want to sell your art. You need to be able to talk to these people and be social. And I don't know, I enjoy doing my parties. It's almost like kind of a hobby for me. So it kind of goes around, comes around. College did help me a lot and learn a lot of things when it came to actually producing art. I did learn a little bit about selling, but not a whole lot. I think doing it, in the act of doing it and going through the methods has been my best teacher. So I have a notebook where I keep track of my sales and I keep track of what I've done, the size of the project, how long it took me to do the project, how much the project cost me in supplies, how long I took to talk to the customer. Like, I totally chart everything out. And by doing that, yes, okay, I know it's a headache, but by doing that, what happened was I started understanding, well, people want to buy flowers from me. They sell really well. Versus if I do like something gothic, which sells in Halloween. But, so it just helped me figure out a better way, and it helped me look at my finances. And also, I always keep track of sales and whatnot, and I buy in bulk. So I think that was a big thing that really helped me out, was buying in bulk. I have contracts and stuff, so that really helps subsidize. I don't really make a whole lot of money doing this. So I've been doing this forever, but I have a location now that's kind of like an art gallery that's a working art studio. I opened in January, and so let's see, right now we're in August, the end of August. So I'm still relatively very new for just having this how I'm doing it this way. And because of that, I'm not that famous. So at this point, I'm only making enough money to be able to pay my rent on the art studio and buy my art supplies. I have not had enough money yet to be able to just take it and go to the movie theater or pay my house bills. So that has been a struggle. However, I'm getting better every month. The more that I'm out there social mediaing, networking, just doing my classes, doing my things, I'm getting famous. So all of my graphs are going in the right direction where I wanted to be. So how they say, you gotta pay to play, kind of that's, I'm working it. And I already had a really big social network before I opened up my space. I mean, that to me for advertising has been the best, which gets me the most amount of customers. And I feel fortunate enough that I actually have people who collect my paintings, and that's amazing. And if somebody's collecting your paintings, you need to know their name, you need to remember them, so the next time they see you, they're like, oh yeah. I have hung in many, many art galleries, and I no longer do that because I was in an art gallery. I'm not going to name names. I'm not that drama queen. But they sold a piece, told me they sold it for $50. Because I live in a really tiny, tiny town, everybody knows everybody. They found me they went onto my website and all that kind of deal. And we started talking and messaging on Messenger and stuff, and they were saying, we'd love it, it's great, we hung it in the living room, and it's just wonderful to hear that, the feedback. But then in the course of the conversation, they told me they paid $600. Now that kind of upsetted me because I was at a rate of 35, so that means the art gallery got 35% of the sale. Well, they gave me $50, so I was kind of I was a little annoyed that I kind of got screwed over that way because, yes, they did do their work and whatnot, but it still kind of was geez, that ain't fair, So I just don't do that anymore. Also, I found that when I am personally, because of the nature of me being so social, if I am there with my painting, they technically they seem to always sell faster and quicker, and usually for more money sometimes, really, because I'm there. They want to know me, they want to see where the art comes from. That's part of the whole deal, you know, the shop local, buy local, you know, and then I have my little story of whatever, and you know, so it works better for me to do that versus me selling in an art gallery. So for me personally, I'll never do that. However, if you're really super shy and you just can't talk to people, totally, that's the way to go. Let them do that. Now, you know, make sure that the money's up and you can trust them and whatnot. Because like, I don't consider art my job. I consider it I have a painting in my art studio that says, "Welcome to our happy place." So yeah, this is like my thing. This is like, it's not really a hobby because yeah, it is a business. I have a business license and all that, but I do it because I love it. And because I love it, people see that. They can see it in your face and in your demeanor on how you are. Like sometimes I have a hard time selling some of my paintings. What I do to help me is I categorize my paintings constantly. So if I see something and I don't like it, I fix it. If I still don't like it, then I put it in the sell pile. And so then that's what I take to craft fairs, and those are what, and then I have like a whole bunch of paintings on my wall that I just know I'm too attached to. So I don't do that. Kind of like buyer's remorse, but seller's remorse. Yeah, social media is the way to go. Out of all of the social medias I've used, Facebook and Messenger tend to have produced the most outcome for me. I've used all of them, and just Facebook's just, it does more. And it's not a gimmick. They didn't pay me to say this. Yeah, don't waste your time if it ain't working. Like Twitter, I have been working with Twitter, and I just can't. It's not going anywhere. It's not giving me leads. I also try to make friends with my peoples too. So like, for instance, when I do my art classes, so not everybody does Facebook, especially in the demographic of people that take my art classes. Not a lot of them do social media. So as a side to that, I'll take their emails or their phone numbers, and then I'll send a text message, usually, because if I'm calling everybody, I don't want to do that whole telemarketing bit. But I ask them and they give me the phone number. I have like a sign up sheet. And then at the beginning of the week, I'll send out a text and I'll be like, so this is what we're doing this week and that week, you know, for the rest of the week. These are my itinerary. And that usually helps, because if I'm doing a craft fair or something, then it's, oh, she'll be there, you know, or, oh, look at this class. Yeah, so I do fundraisers. That was a way to help. I don't really make any money on that at all. It all goes to them. I do keep a tiny portion, and that is just so I can buy the art supplies. So like, I have to buy the paint, the canvas, the brushes. So that kind of just helps, because I've tried to partner with these big companies, and me being a tiny girl here, I'm not like an actual school where like hundreds of people come. So because of that, you know, the whole big corporation don't want to work with me. So I do keep a little money for that helps me buy these things so I can continue to do what I do. Otherwise I just couldn't do it. But by doing that, it has allowed me the opportunity to meet people and to social network, which has been very valuable, because oftentimes these ladies will come back to my art studio and take more classes, or they'll, you know, I have on my walls, I'm sure you've seen in some of my videos, that I have my little art gallery. It's all on my walls everywhere. So, and I keep to the paintings because I have found that gives me the most joy. I like doing that the most. Crocheting's great, and cross stitching, all that stuff, but everybody does it, you know. So like, as an artist selling your art, you need to find something that's your voice, and I think that's the best thing I can say. Be social, be happy, and find your voice. And if you do that, your crowd's out there. You just have to find them. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube videos and watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so in the comments below, can you please write down anything you'd want to see another video about, and I can give you my opinion on yes or no or whatever. I like hearing from you guys. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Push the purple flower to subscribe, and you can watch all kinds of awesome videos.